Well, hello, friends. It's Krista Hershberger with Krista's Crafty. How are you this Saturday afternoon? I don't know what you all are up to. I'd love to hear about it in the comments if you are watching. But it has been a fun past few days for me, as you may have noticed, but I promised I would come and show you this card and how it was made. A lot of you commented on it and thought I would take the time to show you that. And so welcome as we do that today. I want to... Let's do this. There we go. I want to also show you a few other really neat things about these birds. They seem to be showing up everywhere here. And so we are going to take a look at them today. We're going to make this card, but we're also going to talk about some other things. So this set this card we made at last weekend's crop event. It was our free make and take. And so it was a lot of fun. It's not too hard, and I'm going to break it down and show you how to do just that. But if you're wondering since the birds are the main focus, there's actually 4 different stamps that I pulled things from. Now, of course, pull from your stash because I'm sure you can do something similar. But if you're looking for these adorable birds, you're going to find them in the mini catalog in the September to December. And it is called Nests of Winter Suite. And I just wanted to pull your attention to the Nests of Winter Suite because not everything that coordinates with this suite is named the same. It's not all named Nests of Winter. And I'm having a hard time myself doing that or remembering that. But you'll notice that this stamp and then the coordinating dies are actually called Winterly Treetops, and they coordinate with the Nests of Winter, and then so on. So let me quick explain this in case you aren't familiar. On this page, it's a 2-page like this, and I love this because, let's look on this first, because this is showing off some of the items, and I just learned recently that Stampin' Up, when they create these, they have a purpose in mind. One just uses the stamp set. One just uses the paper. One uses the exclusive products like that come in the suite. So this would just be the stamp. This one uses the die cuts. But then sometimes they have these dies laying here. And watch carefully because you see how it cuts out the paper, the actual DSP, the designer series paper. And that's not the only one that cuts out. There's also another bird that has the die cut image too that cuts the paper, but they also will cut these stamped images as well. Okay. So there's lots to learn, and I love all the little tidbits, but we're just learning as we go along. So when you see a suite, and the price and a number, you're going to save 10% on the stamp and die bundle that's in that set. But the suite number is just allowing you to purchase everything you see on this page all at once. Okay. So in this case, it's the papers and everything listed here. The papers, the dots, the big embossing folder, the twine, the dies, and the stamp. And you would save that 10% because of the stamp die purchase. If you remember, all bundles are stamp and dies. And in this case, when they are first debuted, there is a bundle savings of 10%. That will go away if this continues in the catalogs and it's transfers forward, then that percentage will go away. You'll be able to purchase each separately. But that is a little bit about that. Okay. So this is where this is coming from. And you can see the words in the set. Let me actually just show you. The words in this set are not Christmassy, but aren't they gorgeous? The other set I use, and we're going to put this card together. You see these gorgeous snowflakes. This is Pool Party. And I pulled that out of the Frozen Edges set. And you may have this in your stash as well. Or I have something similar in your stash. But I love the dies. Remember, the dies and the stamps come separately. But look at these gorgeous dies that come in here. And they die cut. Let me grab the card here real quick. Because, well, I thought I could. Here it is. look at how these dies cut. Isn't that cool? And so those are the extra silver dies, but they cut everything, but don't cut them out. Aren't they beautiful? So this is from this set. I just pulled this cluster of snowflakes. And then behind the birds, there's a little mark that's going to look like this. And I'll keep this here because I am going to need that. And that came from the Peaceful Evergreens. Now, I'm sure you have a swash in your stamp too that you could use as well. Okay. And then last, the Let It Snow. I needed words. Some of the cards I did Let It Snow, Joy and Love to You, Good Tidings. Some of them came from this set, the Peaceful Season. You see Joy and Love to You, but the Good Tidings and the Let It Snow came from another set. I was looking for something, small wording, but what I love about this set, yes, this is a stamp, but remember I put the dies together, and here are all of those beautiful dies, and we used the white, and then I use I think it's the Real Red is what I cut there as well using this set. And actually all of these are in the Nests of Winter, or in the mini catalog right here. You'll find them all shown in here. If you have any questions, just reach out. So let's take a look at this card and how simple it really is. Oh, here, I did cut out of the paper, and I'll show you that. The dies I cut out of the paper, and you can see I tried to, is this the card? Hold on here. One of these cards I colored a little differently, and it was this one. And do you see? So this is the paper that I cut out, and this is the stamped birds that I colored. Okay? How cool is that? I thought it got pretty close. And I don't have all of my alcohol markers, which here at Stampin' Up, they call them Stampin' Blends. And so the lighter, do you see the lighter color in this bird here? I used a Stampin' Right marker, which is like this. And that I colored the little bit of bird. And then I pulled in my Stampin' Blends of the light Lost Lagoon color to color around there, just to give a little bit more color definition. Isn't that cool? Like, I didn't know if I could use those markers together, but it seemed to work really well. And then for the peach, where's my here? I'm not sure what color, like if I pulled in the right color, but the color I used was Light Peach Pie out of the Stampin' Blends to color and shade that, because I'm not going to take time to color this for you. But then the other markers that I used were the Stampin' Right markers, the black, the Real Red, and the Pecan Pie. Okay, were the other three that I used to color the branches and hit their beaks and the berries. And I actually used the brush tips for a lot of them as well. But isn't that cool? Then, did you see the glitter behind there? How many of you? So, okay, so let's do this. So what I did is actually used the Stampin' Up! New, hold on here, two-tone cardstock, friends. They got this idea over here from close to my heart, and I'm so excited. Here are two card samples. I want to show you the difference. Do you see how this one is stamped tone on tone? This is Pool Party ink directly on the true color of Pool Party. And then this is Pool Party ink, and this is second generation Pool Party. What does second generation mean? Let me show you. And I want to see if I can do it that there is not a glare, and I'm trying here. That's the one thing about this. The glare is different than what I see than you do. Okay, there's that. But what does it mean to second generation? So let's get our Pool Party ink, and just these are not as hard as I was thinking to open. And so let me show you that as well. You want to find the end that has the grip, and you're going to lift up. Okay. And then you're just going to slide it in. If it doesn't slide easy, let me show you a tip I got from another demonstrator. Here's a birthday candle. I use birthday candle. Take the end of that and slide it into the grooves of the ink case, and you will be amazed at how much easier that makes it to flow or to slide. Okay. How cool is that? And then I always look for finger grips again when I close it, and there's an indentation here, and that's what I pull out and then flip over. But so we'll do it again, just for those of you that these are new and I'm learning as well, right? Find the indentation to lift up and then slide in, and then you have your pool party ink right there, ready to go. So I forgot to get my stamps blocked up. So this is a cling set. So I am going to pull that off of there, and let's grab a block. And I am using my Close to My Heart blocks. I do like the Stampin' Up ones, but I figured at this time I will just use my Close to My Heart ones, right? And then you're going to tap lightly. That's something that I've learned, is to tap lightly. Let me grab some scrap paper real quick so that you can see what I mean by stamping off. So we're going to, so what it is you can stamp directly, and let me zoom. Can you see what I'm doing here, right? There we go. You all good? Okay. Yay, yay. What are you ladies doing this Saturday? We're getting ready to head out for dinner shortly, but I'm like, I'm going to go live real quick. So ink this up in Pool Party, and I'm just going to go off to the corner here and stamp directly. Okay, you see how that is. Now remember, it always is going to ink up darker. It's going to dry later. Keep that in mind. But on this card, I had done a second generation, I call. So I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp off on scrap paper and then come over here and stamp on the lighter side. And look how light that is. That might be too light. It's totally up to you, but yet you do have multiple ink shades, I guess we can say, in our as you're stamping with that. And so I'm going to do this, and let's do the other corner. Okay. And then something else I really like the Stampin' Up ink pads for is, yes, they're juicy, but guess what? And I'm going to pull this in here. This is a silicone mat that I'm using a lot. It's kind of like the all-purpose mat from Close to My Heart, but not quite. It's silicone. So I set my ink pads on there, and then it doesn't move when I'm using it. But because they're so juicy, I'm going to take the edges, and can you see what that did there? I'm going to just swipe them. And now that got a lot, but it's not going to dry that like bright as well. And just pull it. I need a little bit there. And then the end. And I think that gives it a fun, bold color. Now, of course, if you wanted, you could use like a blending brush and come in there. And that's what I did with some of these. And maybe you can see the difference. Is this one? Yeah. Do you see how I pulled, how this is much more darker? And again, this needs to dry a little bit, but I could go and pull the edges down like so, hold it and pull down. And that's going to give you a softer look of an edge there as well. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Sandy. Let me jump ahead to that because you are so right. The paper pumpkin, and there's a post going up early Monday morning that will tell you and remind you about this if you haven't seen. Thank you, Sandy. But there is a special right now for the October paper pumpkin. But look at this. It is the October one, and it coordinates with this collection. So good call, Sandy. I know. Here's another sneak peek, a closer sneak peek. Look at those envelopes. I'm so excited for the paper pumpkin. But stay tuned Monday right here on this page. And there is a whole post written up, and I have it scheduled, I think, for somewhere soon after 6 in the morning with all of those details, because new subscribers can give it a try for 40% off that October kit. Yay! So, very cool. Thank you, Sandy. And then what we're going to do is, let me pull out of the peaceful evergreens here. And here's my dies. You know I combine everything. I think you do. And I'm going to pull this one off. And a block in here as well. And then the circles that you see, I know many of you have these because they are gorgeous. Look at this die set. I think it's 12 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, there's 12 different ones. I've got them in here, but they are the edging. Now you see this one, I used the dotted one. This one I used I'm at a loss for words there. Okay. But you see the different styles of that. And so I have this here, and we are going to just ink up again, a light touch. I can go harder, but this one, I just want to put it in the background. Okay. And it doesn't matter. I should wipe these off right away because I do have my chamois wet over here. And I just think it just sticks out or gives a little bit of color behind there. But can you see in the camera here the other color that is behind there? Can you see the glitter? The circle dies. Thank you, Sandy. They are Spotlight on Nature dies. Let me show you. And I'm going to tuck these in here. This is a new casing I'm trying. So they are called Spotlight on Nature dies. Okay. And they are 163580. There is a stamp set that matches this. So you can get the stamp. Let me quick grab that. Good question. See where it's at. Here we go. You can get these as a bundle and save 10%. Let me back up. This is a cling. I really like this set too. And you may have seen some of the things that I've been making with this, because here's another one of those like background die or background swashes, right? And doing that. But this is, you can purchase just separately too. Okay. But just so you know, there is a bundle price with those if that interests you. Thank you, Sandy. And that is so fun. So here's this die. And then I found this because I am missing my shimmer brushes from close to my heart. And I mean, I can still use them. I know that. And you may feel free to use them. But I found this shimmery white embossing paste. And I was like, I ordered it and I was like, okay, what is this? So it is this big jar. Can you see how big that? I mean, like, it's a big jar. I think it's going to last me a while. I kept the foam on here. Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry. I kept the what's this? The tin foil on here and just pulled it back a little. And then you could use a popsicle stick, but I used a palette knife. You can see there's a lot in there. And I just took some of this and spread it. Can you see what I'm doing? Spread it over top of this to give it some texture and dimension. Okay. How cool is that? And then you do have to let it dry a little bit. You see what I'm doing here? I'm going to put everything back in here. And I highly suggest that you cover this immediately when you're done spreading it on, because I'll go wash this off now. Baby wipes would be great to pull that off. Okay. But that will take a little bit to dry. But can you see that? Oh, or if you have a heat tool, you could heat it and dry it that way. But ta-da! Here's a completed one. Right? Oh, I stuck one back over there. I forgot. But here is one, and it is a little bumpy, but pretty shimmery when it is all dry, and it just gives a little bit of texture in the background. Okay? How cool is that? Yay! So anyhow, so then all we did was take the paper. Well, we need a card base, and I'm not going to put it all together because I want to show you a couple other things, but the card base goes behind here. This goes on here, this here, and then we just are going to pop either or. Now this is a paper bird. Look at that. Or we can color our bird. And how that is, I'm going to put this away because I want to show you. Let me back out of here a little bit. I want to show you the paper and some other card samples using this Winterly Treetops, right? That's what it's called. Winterly Treetops Stamp and Die. Or paper suite. So let me show you all the papers. And you might have saw this. Pardon me. So part of mine is used. But I thought I'd show you a few of these. And so what I did is, like, I cut just a little bit off. And then this, here. Let's do this. Let's hold this open so you see the die. This die here is the one berry bird, which is right here. Okay. And then this die is that other one, which we just did, which he would go to this one. Okay. And so what I do is take my scissors and cut them out and then run it through the die cut machine and do it that way. But you can see this die set has this frame, has these sprigs, has this here that will go around the berry, swag, I guess you would call it. And I really like the words in this set too, as well. And the red cling, they do stamp well. I do like how they stamp, but let's take a peek at the paper here quick. And then I have some cards down here I want to show you and how they're used in different ways. So this is front back. That's why I had it that way. Let's do this. Okay. This is front and back. So you could, am I out far enough? Hold on here. Let's do this. But do you see this? How this could easily fit your scrapbook pages, right? Just half on the bottom like that. And you'd have one sheet would do. And then the back is this right here. It's little bird feet. Isn't that neat? Hopefully I held that still long enough. Here's another one. Now, these birds do not have dies to cut them out, but that you could hand fussy cut them out. And look at this. I really like the background of this. And can you see there's actually like little open circles that they designed on there? And this is all pool party, I believe. Take note of this chickadee. I'm going to show you a card I got in a swap. And she fussy cut it out, and it's a beautiful card. But look, there's kind of a swashy watercolor look with that one. And then here, look at all these birch trees. I'm not sure. Help me out. What kind of trees are those? But then the back of that is these like wildflowers. And you can see there's little birds scattered through there. A little bit busier of a pattern. So I just use smaller stripes of that. And then this is like, I guess, pussy willows, but look at that gorgeous wood grain in the back as well. And the paper packs do come with this cardboard. I need to put it in a Ziploc bag, but it will list all of the colors on the back there. You can find that on the website too, but then the numbers down there as well. Okay. So check that out. Now let's take a look at some of the other cards that you can do with this stamp and die bundle set. Okay, so this is one we made at a Stampin' Up event, online event. And this is where I discovered the shimmery white embossing paste. Do you see in the background? I used the birchwood embossing folder. Let me grab that. There we go. It is called Birchwood 3D embossing folder. So check your guide or your manual of your embossing machine to know how to run it. But it is that 6 by 8.5. Look how big it is. I love it. Love it. Love it. And that is the background of this, but you can see how simple this is. And then we colored with, I think it was colored pencils. Those are markers though. I take that back. I did color with my tri-blend markers because I know I didn't have any Stampin' Up markers then. Another fun thing is this one. So you can see over here the die set, right? And this frame, frame. So what they had us do is we're going to see the outer frame on another card, but then the inner part we took and laid here and took our blending brush and sponged around it and then turned just a little bit the other way. Oh, how do we do it? Like that. And sponged around it and gave that look of multiple branches. Isn't that neat? I thought that was such a fun card. And stamping the birds on a colored cardstock instead and still using markers to color in, but just gave it a little bit different of a look that way. And then here's that frame, dear Elsie. I don't think she's watching right now, but she made this for me. And she did the frame and then she cut the birds out of the paper and just put Merry Christmas and sent me this card just as a little gift for me. So thank you, Elsie, for that. And here's a few other ways that the frame can be used. This I got in a swap by Maria. And she did in a little bit different colors of that. Tucked a little half, this is a tag behind there, did some of the twine, but again, that's cut out of the paper. And I don't know if you can see the background that she used. Can you see there's a grain to that? There's actually this wood grain paper. It's a wood grain specialty paper that comes, I think, like in a 2 or 3 pack, designed like that. You could color it with ink if you want it, but it comes white just like that. And I thought that was neat to have that to show. And then here's another frame that we did. Again, we did the embossing folder in the back. I added some of that shimmery paste. And then here we cut the frame out of just cardstock. And again, stamp the bird. And that's that swag. How cool is that, right? And stamped it in a different way. Like, I would think that needs to be green, but I really liked how Stampin' Up! Pulled in the blue and had us create it that way. And then here, remember, I told you to remember that paper? Look, she hand cut that out, and I'm assuming she cut that out. This was Kimberly Ryder. I was in a swap. So look at what she did. And then here, do you see that? There's a vellum circle that she added. This is, I'm pretty sure this is the frayed ribbon that was in the clearance section. It may still be there. I'm not sure. And then these little snowflakes are like little rubber shapes. They are out of stock right now, but I know they're coming back in. The Season's Greetings, I would have to figure out where she got that one from. Anybody want to see? I think there is a set, but the Season's Greetings I have is too large for that. And so that is another. And she used, I thought maybe I'd show the inside. She used the plaid embossing folder that's new in the mini catalog. It's actually in the snow, what's it called? Snow, there it is. It's in Reindeer Days. And it is a big folder, that same size, like 6 by 8.5, this big one. As well. And she used that. And what do they call it? Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. And you can see she just did her card, the half of the card base, and then had that as the front, for some texture and depth too. So, how fun is that? Oh, and I didn't talk about the title here as well. I did a little bit, and I told you it came from Peaceful Seasons, and let me show you that here. It's in the Season of Elegance collection, but here is the Peaceful Season stamp and the Peaceful Season die, and all of those fun, I just really, really like their die cuts here at Stampin' Up. I feel there's more than just the stamped images, and it just adds a whole, like, extra dimension. And I really think they're cool. So that's where that came from. So I hope that was helpful, and I just wanted to share that with you again. Like Sandy had said, it is a part of the Nest of Christmas is what the October Paper Pumpkin Kit is. You have till October 10th to sign up for that. If you're a new subscriber, you'll get 40% off when you use that code. Or if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber already and maybe you don't like this one, you can opt out if you'd like. Or if you want to make sure you're not opted out as well. So again, there'll be more details on that. But I hope you enjoyed that and just a little bit more detail on how that's all made. If you have any questions, give me a shout. One thing I forgot, and Stampin' Up! Is big on, and I keep forgetting, is the inside. We did do it. Did I do any of these? We did do it at the Make and Take. I had stamps that they could stamp inside, but I don't think I ever stamped my samples in because they were up on stands. So anyhow. All right, my friends, I hope you have a lovely weekend. I hope that has inspired you. It is World Card Making Day. In about 20 minutes, Stampin' Up! Will be going live. For those of you that registered, and I did put a link, I'm hoping you guys can get on the link even if you didn't register, if you want to hang out and see what they're crafting today. All right, have a lovely weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.